Boom! Hey, everyone. It's me, the B to the B to the B, the Boston bad boy himself, Jason Rumble. We had a little technical difficulties this evening with the internet access around here. So, hey, it's Friday night free for all. I'm hoping some of the boys tune in this evening and really don't want to give it a solo mission, so to speak. But a lot of news this week. Here he is, everyone, straight from Nova Scotia, Halifax, Canada. AJP himself, no, as I say, no longer bedridden. He now sits on his couch day to day. Probably starts his mornings off still with the coffee and orange juice, a boggle, and sometimes an egg and sausage, and he dips it in his ketchup.
See, I live. If people are watching from the States, I live to the equivalent of Dunkin' Donuts. I live at a 30-second walk from a Tim Hortons, which is the Canadian version of a Dunkin' Donuts. Can I say that, Rumble?
Yes, you can. It's better.
Rumble loves going from my place down to Tim Hortons, getting 2 extra large coffees, a bagel.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's very interesting week of professional wrestling there, Rumble, buddy.
Yes, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I wish I had a red light to put on this evening so I could trick James Forbes into thinking that Wyndham Rotunda was headed to my office.
Yeah, but I think that would have maybe took away from that. No, I don't even think it would have took away from that hour-long match.
Absolutely not. Tremendous match.
Tremendous match.
Exactly.
It was awesome. There's there were some tiny things that, being like a pro wrestler on my end, that you may think, but I can't critique it, man. It was that great. I can't.
Yes. I'm not going to critique it. The only thing I could say is that, giving it away for free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's about the only one thing that.
But they'll get them more ratings on the weekly show.
See, that's where that's Pelly. That's right. In the business world, they call that you got to give up some money.
Make some money.
Exactly. So, our producer, Mr. Mickey Biggs, will not be on the show this evening. Added to the stream, the A to the P to the O to the C, Mr. APOC himself, my brother from another mother.
What's up?
Let's just say NWO style, like Razor Ramon and Big Daddy Cool Diesel. Another one for the good guys.
Yep.
James Forbes had no idea what the hell that meant, but
because he's a clown, that's why.
So, yes. But I love him. He's a great clown. Maybe hopefully he'll come on tonight and
take his medicine
back and forth.
Take his medicine like a man that he's not.
Yeah.
You're not beating up young kids that don't respect the business this week, Rumble. Mike?
No, I didn't actually beat anybody up. I just spoke my mind. That's all. It was a big shit show. So, I mean, you pick on a girl that's 5'2", 120 pounds soaking wet, and then you go and cry to the owner of Chaotic because they were going to get, their asses handed to them. So I just had to speak my mind. So it is what it is. But, it was a good match. I had fun.
Yeah,
so.
Jason and I are just talking about the hour-long match, the Bryan Danielson, Adam Page match.
I thought the match was good. Did I think it went too long? Kind of. I think maybe a 30-minute time limit would have been better than a 60-minute because it took away from a lot of what I mean. I thought there would be more matches. I honestly thought that somebody was going to make a debut, not Bray Wyatt, but somebody was going to interrupt the match.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. From what I saw after that match, it wasn't really that eventful. If anybody's wondering who the guy in black is, it's Brody King because he signed with
AEW.
AEW. So
Yep.
that's who it's going to be. It's not going to be Bray Wyatt because the lights flickered. It's not going to be him. It's going to be Brody King.
Yeah, I said I couldn't really critique the match. It was that great, but I saw the finish and I was like, man, I really would have liked for Adam Page to go over.
Well,
Okay. Yeah, all right. Let's go first, Mike, because this is one thing that tickled my fancy.
see, I kind of have to agree with that. I think Page should have went over because he's the champion. Not putting him over and doing a time limit draw is basically kissing Daniel Bryan's ass. And
What's going on, Jerry Leone?
It shouldn't be that way. You're assigned talent. You are a former WWE champion. You're a superstar, but he should have did the job and put the champion over.
Mike, this is the repercussions of the whole new I'm the worker. I work for AEW, and because Tony Khan is my boss, he lets me do what I want to do.
Right. It doesn't bring any legitimacy to that title now, because I'm sure if Omega had the title, he'd be going over. But because it's Adam Page and he's not,
he would have went over because he would have had the Bucks. He would have had Adam Cole. He would have had the guy with the ice can. I totally agree with that. But
I just, like I said, I just think it brings no legitimacy to the title or to Page as a champion because he didn't go over.
Yeah,
the match was great, but it made them almost look fake. Do you know what I mean? Like all them kickouts and all them near falls, it kind of exposed the business for what it is.
in a minute.
Some of the stuff that was done, some of the moves that they pulled off, and any other indie federation or WWE or NWA, there should have been a pin in that match. Like Page jumped from the top rope and went through a table. Should have been pinned there. Like a lot of the stuff that was done, there should have been a pinfall, and there wasn't. It made it look. It exposed the business in my book to a point where, okay, so they went to a 60-minute draw, but they did all these finishers, and nobody went over. So it's like, okay, so now where do you go now? Like they showed everything.
So would it be safe to say that you're one of the people that when I put up that X-Pac meme that you would you say that you don't agree with what he says?
No, I don't.
Okay. I can see that. Like the 1 hour match they did is not in comparison of a 1 hour match that say Shawn Michaels and John Cena did back-to-back nights.
Correct. Or the 60-minute Iron Man match that Michaels had with Bret Hart.
Yep.
There's pinfalls in that.
Yep. I think they were thinking, let's do the hour long and people want to watch the rematch. I'm the person that hey, let this babyface champ go over, let Bryan Danielson gain more heat, and then people want to watch another one.
Well, in my opinion, if they were going to do that kind of match, they should have built it more and did it on a pay-per-view.
Yep.
They didn't build that feud at all. Like all of a sudden, Daniel Bryan came out and it was a heel. For what reason? Because he was the number one contender to face Adam Page, so they made him a heel. And this is where that indie booking mentality is still there, because if that was done in WWE, not saying that WWE is building storylines right now, but it would have been built up a little bit more.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like let Adam Page go over and let Bryan Danielson build his heat. Do you know what I mean? Like
let him go over and then have him beat the crap out of Page at the end of the night, and that makes him a heel,
like that. Yeah.
A legitimate heel. We're not doing any of that.
I hear you, Mike. But it was one of the best matches I've seen in a while. You must agree to that.
I think the match itself,
the match was good, but what I'm saying is that where do they go from here? Because they put everything out on the table. Like what? How do they top that? They can't. There were so many near falls and false finishes that what can they do? Put them in a steel cage? It's not going to make any sense.
Nope. So it's safe to say that the 1 hour match, this is where I can understand. I've seen a few people, and at first, when I sit back and think about things, I believe number one, I agree with Mike that angle should have never happened right away.
Nope.
If anything, they should have done something else, given Hangman Page another first opponent for the title. Someone not as big, but a strong name. Give him a victory as the champion. And then I would have put him in there with Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, whatever the hell they want to call him.
Or Daniel Bryan Danielson comes down, makes a run, and beat up Adam Page after that match.
Anyway it had to go, I'm just saying, I believe the whole thing was booked wrong. Totally booked wrong.
I'm going to put my Gazoo helmet on for a minute. If I was writing for AEW, I would have done it this way.
Where is the great Gazoo tonight?
I'll tell you right now what they should have done.
He's on vacation. He's on vacation.
Yeah, he's on vacation. He doesn't work as it is. He's on vacation. Anyways, they should have had like maybe MJF interfere in that match and have it thrown out to get. Hear me out. To get more heat on Daniel Bryan, have him help Daniel Bryan, like interfere in the match, or have somebody interfere in the match. Like they just put all their eggs in one basket, and they really blew it, because if they go at it again, they're gonna have to do what, a 2 hour, a 2 hour limit. Like I don't get, like I don't know where it goes from here.
That's what I was gonna say right before. You go an hour. Now, if you go 30 minutes, does it make that hour match look weak?
Yep.
Like, what could they do in the half hour that they didn't do in the hour?
Like, I'm not taking anything away from the match. The match itself was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, it just proves a point that Daniel Bryan still has a lot left in the tank.
Yeah.
And it proves a point that Adam Page is a good worker. But like you said, it was just booked completely wrong. Like it just didn't make any sense to me. So, I mean, when I started watching, I'm like, oh, it's going to be, a DQ or a double DQ, or somebody's going to run in. And then we hit the 30-minute mark, and I'm like, these motherfuckers are going to go 60 minutes.
When Excalibur said, "Oh, these men are over the half hour point," no. As soon as he said that, I was like, okay.
Well, you kind of knew when they were feeling each other out at the beginning of the match. You kind of knew.
I just thought
I thought they were going to do just. I thought it was going to be. I thought Paige was either going to steal the win, or they were going to put Bryan over. I didn't think they were going to do a 60-minute draw. I really didn't.
I thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to go to high hell 20 minutes in, so that they didn't give everything that they gave to the match, so that down the road they would be able to build upon more. So the one thing I disagree with to X-Pac is yes, I thought the match was incredible. I don't know many guys in the business nowadays that could keep you in
No,
invested for 60 minutes.
no,
You
and
know,
Roman Reigns couldn't
I was
even do
invested
that.
the whole match.
you don't think Roman could go out there with Seth Rollins and tell that story?
Nope, nope. And that's the I think Seth Rollins could go out there with Daniel Bryan or Finn Balor or somebody like that and tell that kind of a story, but not with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is a it's a hoss wrestler. He's not a technical wrestler. He's a pound and ground. He's a ground and pound wrestler. That's what he is.
Yeah.
Like what moves does he really do that's technical? He beats the crap out of you, spears you, hits you with a Superman punch, 1, 2, 3, it's over. Like I don't like the match he's gonna have with day one with Brock Lesnar. That's gonna be a brawl. That's not gonna be no wrist lock or headlock or high flying match. That's gonna be a brawl. That's what it's gonna be.
I think the most entertaining thing in that match is going to be what's Paul Heyman going to do.
I think the most entertaining part of that match is who's going to show up and interfere in it. That's what's going to be the cue for. I think day one is going to be a total game changer for WWE. I think they're going to pull shit out of your ass that nobody's expecting.
Give me something that you would expect them to pull out of their ass.
Bray Wyatt's going to show up on day one.
You say so. I hope.
He's not going to AEW. That's for damn sure.
Buddy, listen, Mike. I've never been one, and we can rewind all these shows.
Yeah.
I have always said, wait and see. I don't believe he's AEW type.
He's not.
That's just me.
He's not.
He's a great wrestler, but Bray Wyatt is more entertaining than anything else, and that's WWE.
There you go, and that's WWE right there. There you go. See, WWE, yes, professional wrestling, but it's more of a soap opera entertainment part of it.
Always has been, Mike. I don't know if you can remember, but you have been around my dad, and my dad would constantly say it's soap opera for men.
Yep, he was right. Yes, All Elite Wrestling is professional wrestling. I totally agree with that. It's independent professional wrestling on TNT. That's what it is. It's not it's not in the same caliber as WWE. That they're not touching them in the ratings because you don't have enough of the hardcore wrestling fans getting on board.
Yep.
And I mean, some of the talent they have is phenomenal. Now, is Kyle O'Reilly going to show up next Wednesday at AEW? Absolutely. I do not doubt it 100%. I do believe that Adam Cole is going to turn on the Super Elite, and they're going to do some sort of Undisputed Era with him and Fish.
But then who joins the Bucks?
Omega's out for a while. I think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen next Wednesday, but eventually it's going.
What
to happen.
did you hear about the injury wise of Kenny Omega?
His shoulder's bad, like bad. Like he has to have surgery on it. And from what I understand, he's gonna be out a good year.
I was told I had read somewhere. I'm not sure which source. Before everybody starts throwing daggers about this source bull crap.
Well,
I had read.
That's the two clowns. That's Bozo and Bozo Jr. that like to throw daggers.
I read somewhere that Omega has the same injury as Finn Balor suffered when he was in the Universal title match and took the buckle bomb.
Yeah, he's out. He was out for a good year.
Yep.
So
same injury that the Japanese dude had.
Yep.
You know.
So let's talk about the two people that their contracts expired. So Kyle O'Reilly, I believe, will end up in AEW. I believe that Gargano is taking time off and will be back in WWE.
Oh,
We talked about it last week. You didn't. Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
do
because
that.
I was wrestling.
Taking
But
time off. He's going to be a dad.
yeah,
And he wants to be there, but he'll come back to NXT. He's NXT.
he just turned his Twitter channel back on.
yeah,
He just put out 3 new shirts
yeah,
on Pro Wrestling Tees.
yeah. I saw that. Yeah,
Uh, I think he'll make his money right there.
yeah.
You know,
He'll definitely be back. Kevin Owens, we called it. We knew he wasn't going anywhere.
for the good guys.
That's right.
Yeah. Too sweet, baby. Ah!
Yeah, I've been saying, I said it all along. You said it all along. Capelli did say it. Capelli
Yep.
did say that it would be good for his family. It's what is the right thing to do. But James Forbes likes to call me and Wumble WWE shills. No, you moron. We're realists. We know what's good. We can see what's the writing on the wall. We're not AEW clowns. That's what we're not.
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't be making that kind of money in AEW either.
He get
No
lost in the
way.
shuffle. He don't get me wrong. Kevin Owens is a talented worker, but he is not going to go to AEW and sit at the top of the mountain. It's just not going to happen. Number one, Cody Rhodes won't allow it, and neither will the Bucks or Omega. So he was the smartest move he ever made. And it's more than 3 years from what I understand. It's a long-term deal.
Yes.
So
do you think he's a person like?
I read a special inside. Hold on 1 second. I did read that it's not a guaranteed deal that he can be released at any point.
They're all doing that. Any contract that they sign now that's written into it. That's a standard contract. It's not guaranteed you can be released. They've been doing that forever.
Okay.
Do I think that he will win the title at day one? Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
That's like a pat on the back for say, hey guys, thanks for signing the contract. Here you go.
Bobby Lashley's not winning that title again. No way.
I think it is time for the Hurt Business once again. I think Bobby Lashley takes the title.
They killed the Hurt Business. They made them clowns. They jobbed them out.
All right, so I won't use Hurt Business. I'll just put it at this. I'll put it this way. I believe Bobby Lashley gets his second title run and becomes dominant once again because of what he said that he would not mind facing Bill Goldberg once again at Wrestle Frickin' Mania.
Nobody wants to see that. I don't want to see a 55-year-old Goldberg. It looks like shit.
Yeah.
I want to see.
He's worse than he was in WCW.
I agree with Mike. I think it's going to be Kevin Owens. Tap on the back or sign the contract.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, and I think there's a match for the Royal Rumble.
That I would love to see.
I would not be disappointed, but I just have a feeling that it's Bobby Lashley, and then we are going to see one of the best feuds in professional wrestling, if done right, with Bobby Lashley going in a full-scale angle with Kevin Owens for the next 3 to 4 months. I believe that those two guys.
Yeah, but then you have to turn one of them face, and right now Kevin Owens is better off as a heel. And Bobby Lashley's a better heel than he is a face.
Yeah, I get you.
So,
I'm just going with the little momentum that I read today that the people would love to see Lashley versus Owens because they believe it could be a strong feud in the WWE.
Yeah, but you also know that WWE doesn't go by what the fans want.
Yeah, I know that.
We've already clarified that because they haven't done shit yet.
Guys, I need to take a quick 2-minute break. I'll be right back.
I hate when he does that.
So what's the indie scene down like right now down in Massachusetts?
The same. It's we did we pulled like 200 people the last show. It was a good show. We had a book by the seat of our pants because a few of the people that were booked ended up getting COVID, so they were pulled off the show.
Yeah, it's getting a little bad up here. We had the most cases since the first of the pandemic today.
Yeah, I heard that they postponed the Canadians Bruins game because of that.
Yeah, well, they played the Canadians game last night with nobody in the arena.
Right, and then tonight, Sunday's game against the Bruins has been postponed.
Yeah, it's this Omicron thing. I guess it's more contagious, but if you get it and you're vaccinated, it's just like a slight cold.
Even people who aren't vaccinated, it's the same thing.
Yeah, so
So I guess the symptoms are more milder, and you don't lose your taste or your smell. So I don't know.
yeah,
It's just going to keep mutating. I don't think it's ever going to go away. It's going to be the second flu.
yeah, just gonna have to live with it, eh?
Huh?
Just gonna have to live with it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, you know? I
Get the
mean,
shot, get the shot every year like the flu.
no. I don't get the flu shot, so
I get it. I get the flu shot. Are you vaccinated, Mike?
no.
You didn't get vaccinated?
I'm thinking about it. I don't too much I've read about it, too much people getting really sick afterwards. I hate being sick to begin with. I don't go near anybody. Honestly, I work and come home. That's all I do. I really
Yeah,
don't go. I don't go in the malls. I don't go to bars. I don't go drinking. I'm more of an introvert. I stay home. Like, I
yeah,
work 13, 14 hours a day, and I'm by myself when I'm working. I'm in my truck. So I really don't interact with a lot of people, to be honest with you.
yeah. I'm alone
Um,
a lot too, but I see my family and they're elderly, and I want to
I mean,
travel.
my mother's vaccinated, and my sister and everything. My wife's vaccinated. My daughter's vaccinated. I mean, if I do, it's going to be the Johnson and Johnson one and done on that. I don't want to go for 2 or 3 shots. And they're saying the Johnson and Johnson one right now is the most effective against it. So
They're giving out boosters now to people 60 and over here in Nova Scotia.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's the boosters are for people who have compromised immune systems and
Yeah,
have
but they're going to start
underlying.
giving they're going to start giving them out to everybody here in Canada when the time's right.
Well, they did open the border. They close it again.
Yeah, me and my buddy, we were going to take a trip, but uh, we were going to come down, but the Canadian government advised for non-essential travel to not do it yesterday, and then today they if you went down for 72 hours, you didn't have to take a test to come back. But now if you travel anywhere out of the country for 72 hours, you need to take a PCR test, which I found one out in Bangor costs $100 for a test.
So you guys are really getting hit hard with it then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it hasn't hit that hard in the United States yet, but I'm sure it will eventually. I mean,
Oh, dude, I checked it out. There was the other day there was 5,000 cases in Massachusetts.
Omicron? No.
Not Omicron, just normal COVID.
Yeah, that's the norm, dude. That's the normal.
Yeah.
I work in Mass, but again, I go to construction sites. I don't go near people. If I'm pouring concrete, it's in a pump. If I'm anything else, I'm in my truck backing up with chutes on. I don't touch nobody. And after I'm done doing what I got to do, I sanitize my hands. I have
Yeah.
2 bottles of sanitizer in my truck and one in my bag.
I clean a church, so it's just me and the church by myself. So
So yeah, I mean, it's just it's scary shit. You know what I mean? It's for people who are have underlying issues or have heart problems or diabetes. It can hit you bad. You know.
yeah, I'm a borderline diabetic.
No, I am too. It's because of my weight.
Yeah, it's me too. I'm around 270. How much are you, Mike?
The last time I checked, that was 325. I'm down from 350. So
Yeah, when I was standing by you in the ring, we looked like a tag team that could beat up some people.
that was at my heaviest. I was 360 back then.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. But I'm getting there. I'm getting, this. It's my job. I, I've been, I get like I have a smartwatch, so I track my steps every day, and I average between 3,000 and 6,000 steps a day. So
Yeah, I'm just starting to move around now. My ankle's getting a little bit better. They gave me some new stretches at physio the other day, so
there you go. When you getting
yeah.
back in the ring?
I'm hope maybe this summer. I'm going to take some
Yeah,
time off.
yeah,
Larry Huntley does the Skowhegan Fair every August.
yep,
I'm going to try to get down for that.
yeah. I'm gonna be hanging them up soon. Probably May. Getting, I don't want to be that 50-something-year-old guy still wrestling. You know, even though I can do it. I mean, for the first time in my career, I did a suicide dive
Yeah, you were saying, yeah.
last
How'd that
Saturday.
go? How'd that go?
It was different. It definitely popped the crowd. It popped the boys in the locker room because somebody my size diving through the middle rope. Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was a good match. I had a good time. I mean,
Yeah, I've never
and that's,
done one, but there was a time down in Machias for wrestling. I had the opportunity to do one. It came into my head, and I was like, better not.
honestly, it's not that bad. If the boys are there to catch you, you're fine.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you catch
So
Raw this week?
I caught some of it. That Monday I worked 13 and a half hours. I was exhausted. And then I had a class the next day for OSHA, so I'm like, I had to be up early again. From what I saw, it was decent. Um, it's not burning the place down yet. I mean, hopefully it gets better. Hopefully they give Triple H a little bit more free reign. So I don't know. We'll see what
It
happens.
kind of made Bobby Lashley look like a Superman.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, you're back to, it's back to Bobby Lashley dominating everybody again, and that's just something. It was good in the beginning, but it's going to get a little quick. You know what I mean? People are
Yeah.
going to get bored of it, and going to want something different. I mean, the only reason why Roman Reigns is doing it right is because he's got Heyman with him. He didn't have Heyman with him, he wouldn't. I don't think he'd be the heel that he is. Heyman makes him. You know, does Heyman turn on him at day one? Who knows?
I'd really like to see, I really do think, Brock Lesnar's been okay on the mic the past couple of weeks, but Brock really needs Paul Heyman. Really needs him.
Right, but I also like this Brock Lesnar than before because he's just being himself. He's being a lumberjack. That's what he is.
Yeah. But still, yeah, it's just so much more entertaining with Paul, though. I think.
Sorry about that, fellas. Fatherhood called right there. My
You
boy had
good?
an accident.
Is he all right?
Oh yeah, he's got diarrhea. So he thought
Oh,
he was gonna fart and he shit himself. I got to change of clothes here, so I had to go into the athletic room and
change
find a
him.
pair of extra small shorts. This is the best right here. The master and
the ruler
ruler of the
of the
world.
world.
Oh, please.
All right, Sid Vicious.
Come on,
Whatever,
that was
Kazoo.
a
What's up,
classic
Kazoo?
fucking line when he used to say it. I
Yeah.
loved that. I gotta say, I've been listening for like the last 10 minutes. Man, all I gotta say is you got some really misinformed motherfuckers about COVID.
What do you mean?
Oh, what's
Mike,
the
me
cases
and you
like
gotta
that?
talk offline, brother.
What?
I want to
really?
my brother Mike. I want to talk to him offline.
Why?
But just about the stuff you were saying about COVID. Listen, I don't want to because let's just talk wrestling and talk shit, but I don't want to make it a COVID talk. But
I wasn't here, so I didn't.
I know. No, Mike, I was coming in, and Mike and Pelly they were talking, and they were talking about the shots and shit, and some of the information that Mike has been given. I think it might be best for him to hear from one of his friends who lived through it, and in the worst fucking possible fucking way.
No, I'm not discounting COVID at all, dude.
No, but it was like some of the information you got on the shots. Like you mentioned the Johnson & Johnson shot, and actually everything now is saying the Johnson & Johnson shot is the worst one because it's very, very high chance that you get blood clots, which is a bad side effect from COVID from Johnson & Johnson.
Well, considering the information I got is from actually a friend of mine who was a nurse that works with COVID patients, and she's the one who told me that Johnson & Johnson is the better one.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm just going by what medical people have told me. So
right, and you know what? And I can tell you that I have a wife. Lisa works with COVID every day.
Yeah,
and she's same thing. She'll tell you the complete opposite. She'll tell you to get the shot. She'll tell you to get the booster. The booster's not just for people who are who have any type of underlying condition. This is one thing I will say to you, brother, before we get off the topic. If you think that you are close to being borderline type 2 diabetic, let's say you're pre-diabetic, you absolutely want to be getting that shot.
Basketball.
But you know what? That's something me and you talk about friend to friend offline. We have that conversation after. Let's talk about it, boys. The greatest job in the history of professional wrestling. The Jeff Hardy fucking job.
See, I'm not.
I agree. Listen, Jay, you could say it. He didn't do it. He most fucking certainly did.
I'm not. Hey, I have nothing. I am appalled because I have lost respect for him. And I say this because I suffered through addiction. I have family members that suffered through addiction. One family member being my Uncle Bobby, who was like my oldest brother, that we did not pay attention to them signs, okay?
Talking about Doherty?
No, my Uncle Bobby.
Oh, your uncle. I thought you were talking about Doherty.
My legit uncle Bobby, who used to live with me on Fulton Street. You have to remember him.
Yeah, I do. I remember now. I do.
Well, he committed suicide. He took his own life. Nobody ever paid attention to it. And to be then told by my best friend, Sal Giannetti, who was a Malden police officer, that he's the one that got called to the room to find my uncle dead. Like, listen.
Fucked up.
I'm going to say this. I understand. Oh, yay. He pulled the wool over everybody's eyes by claiming I'm not saying he claimed, by people thinking that he relapsed. It, to me, is a low fucking move because I truly believe that Vince would have let him go. And that's my honest opinion. Vince had nothing for him. I don't believe he needed to go about things that nature. So therefore...
Yeah, but how do you know that he didn't ask for his release and he was told to pound sand? You know what I mean? Like, he could have said, I want out, and they said no.
Well, we don't know that part, but yet he's out saying this or the other. Why would the WWE come out and say and offer him rehab? Why? I just think it's a low form. And if he stooped to that level, me being an employer, I mean, I would think twice about the character of that person. That's, it is what it is, man.
Well, he definitely burnt that bridge. He definitely burnt that bridge. I'll never go back there again.
I'm just saying that to me is not like I lost a lot of respect for Jeff Hardy for that reason. And nobody going to change my mind. Absolutely not. Listen. He swerved him. Whoop. Yep. Bravo. I just believe you could have gone at it better. That's all. And I don't think the Hardy Boys versus these people that all of a sudden see dream matches is something to dream about because
I believe they're at the end of their career.
I believe, and I'll say this till the day I die, Jeff Hardy was Shawn Michaels, and Matt Hardy has always been Marty frickin' Jannetty.
110%.
I agree with that. absolutely.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
Jeff Hardy's a freaking idiot to add to, because I think that Vince, I think somewhere down the road, for him sticking around because he's over with the fans, I believe that maybe Vince would have threw him a freaking bone somewhere down the road. I believe him cashing the dime in to go and be with his brother in AEW and do some of these matches that realistically fans have already seen on the independent level or the Ring of Honor level or the New Japan level. The night the Bucks, the last night of the Hardys being on independent scene was them versus the Bucks, and it wasn't that good of a match.
Yeah, I remember. Look, I'm not. What I'm saying is it is one of the. There's enough there to say it was a work to get out of his contract. I'm not saying I condone it, but I got to tell you, it's a big set of fucking balls to go out there and fake you. If he legitimately did fake he was fucked up, it is. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a shitty way of doing it. It is messed up, but in the same token, dude's got a big set of balls, man.
No,
Buddy,
listen.
You don't think there's other people out there like me that have family members that suffered through addiction, that legitimately relapse, that aren't saying to themselves, I was a Jeff Hardy fan, and now I'm not because that's a piece of shit move.
Oh, I think you're gonna see more people feel that it was a piece of shit move, and I think you're gonna see some of the boys in the business be like, dude, that's kind of fucked up what you did.
Yeah,
and rightfully so.
Well, it's he broke an unwritten rule in the business. You don't burn bridges like that, and he burnt a huge bridge with that because, let's just say he legitimately relapsed and he chose not to go to rehab. Okay, so now what's he gonna do? Another TNA segment where he's shit.
That's exactly what he's doing.
With Sting, he's shit facing the ring and Sting beats the shit out of him for it. That's what's going to happen again if that's what legitimately relapse.
What if the next time he's in the ring with somebody drunk and he kills that person by dropping him, doing the wrong stunt?
Listen, I don't condone what he did, but he definitely did fucking work WWE.
Yeah, he did. I'll admit it was a great work, but I'm gonna say to it because I have family members. Because I was once a hardcore addict. And I take that crap to heart. I do, man. I think it's a slime. I think
there's a lot of mental illness playing into all this.
I think so too. I think mental illness could have a lot to do with a lot of his drinking, so to speak, or drugging.
Well, first of all, we all got to screw loose to be in this business. That's number one.
Yeah.
That's just a given. And anybody who gets into this business, there's something missing upstairs. I mean, I'll be the first one to admit it. I mean, I feel more comfortable in a ring than I do in real life.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, I'm 50 years old and I'm still wrestling.
But there's certain types of mental illness. Like there's a good side of crazy where you control it and learn how to live with it and like
plug it in with on my iPad.
Yeah.
And then there's the other side of mental illness that just takes over you and you don't know how to relate to it, and it takes over you and it affects your environment and everything around you goes chaotic. And then those two can be in limbo, right? Like some of us can learn how to control the mental illness in the ring and stuff like that. Speaking of mental illness and control in the ring, I want to get to that Hannibal guy later on.
Oh, we'll talk.
So, and I've been on both spectrums of the mental illness issues. I've let it consume me. Jay knows what I went through with my daughter, my youngest daughter, and still going through it, today. So I get where you're coming from, but I'm just saying, for anybody to get in this business, especially nowadays, you got something wrong with you. You know what I mean?
What, to get in the business now?
Yes.
Yeah. See, the business now.
to people, see, I look at it. And I get what you guys are saying. I look at it differently. I think people look at the business now and they don't see what we saw. They didn't live it like we lived it. They see it as, how do I put it? They just see it as a way to make money.
Yeah, I mean,
I think because now it's so much. I hate to say it, the road to the WWE or to AEW or the Impact is easier than it was for you guys, and it was a hell of a lot easier for guys that came back in the '80s. I mean,
I totally agree. If I was
these people, they look at it as, oh, you know, I go to the gym, I work out. Oh, I'll make money. I'll go become a professional wrestler. I don't think they have a love for the business, a lot of them, the way that we loved it.
Right.
You got 4 guys right here that loved the business.
Still do.
I would say that 25%, and I know it's a bold number, but I would say at least 25% of the wrestlers coming through nowadays, they don't love the business. They like it. They have no clue about the business. Love it. It's about
I was told my second day of training, we sat down with Gary Williams, a very well-known independent wrestler here in Canada. He said, if you're an independent wrestling for money, there's the door right there. You can leave.
He's right, because in the independent scene, you ain't making jack shit. Nothing.
Yeah, and now you got people like Taz telling you don't take $25 paydays no more. A guy like Taz wouldn't be where he is if he didn't take a $25 payday, that piece of garbage.
I'll tell you right now, that's the worst advice that anybody that's been in the business as long as he has to tell somebody. Because if you tell these young kids don't take $25 paydays, these kids aren't getting booked.
Yeah,
the business has changed, though, brother. It's changed. Hell, one of the last shows I was in the back, working in the back with Jay. Fucking people were back there like, with the attitude of, if I ain't getting $100, I ain't doing nothing.
Then you ain't working.
Yeah, that was the attitude that they had. Maybe they still did it, but they have that attitude now, and it's like the mentality that we were taught was, you're lucky if you make $20. Jesus Christ. I remember the first year I worked for Rumble, I didn't see if I did. I was lucky if I saw $10. And that's for the whole year, not a show. I remember the first time I got a payday from Rumble. It was, we went out in Gardner. We did a show in Gardner, Mass. I drove out there with Palladino, and this was the night that fucking pretty much Steve Heff fucked up, and Heff had quit. He was pissed. He didn't. We did a gimmick, and I remember fucking in the gimmick, we took the, as the Cash Money Boys, we took the fucking beating at the end. I used to love it. I used to be like, oh, this is great, because I'm thinking like this is part of getting over. And we going back, and he's screaming and yelling. He's like, I didn't fucking drive all this way, and I'm like, dude, it is what it is. It's part of the business. And Palladino even said it to me. He's like, man, like, does he not get it? You guys are getting broken into the business in a different way. Like, you're paying your dues and paying for your schooling by working for Tony for free, because most people have to go to a wrestling school to even become a fucking manager. He's like, he's getting you in a different way. I'll never forget it. The next fucking show, Tony says, here you go, kid. It was $25. And he says, that's because you work for me. He's like, and I broke you into this business. I brought you into this business because I like you, kid. He's like, because you got a gifted gab, and you kept your mouth shut, and you didn't bitch, piss, and moan. And every show that you did, you went out, you did what you were told, and you never complained about it once, and you always said thank you. He goes, and for that, you finally earned your first payday. It was $25. But nowadays, I mean, some of these kids coming out of these wrestling schools are like, if I don't get $100, fuck you. And if you make it on the indie scene, there's a lot of money to be made if you get to certain levels of what is, I would say, the upper end of the indie scene. I mean,
I'll say this. The production on the higher end independent shows now, they got jumbotrons If the building's big enough, they got a light trestle above the ring. I was thinking to myself earlier today because the show that Hannibal dude was on down in Texas. Did you see the jumbotron? It had a light housing above it, and here I am thinking to myself, man, every indie dude or indie promoter during COVID took all their COVID paychecks and bought fucking sound equipment, bought LED screens, and they went out and made business investments with that.
Yeah. You know, it just, I don't know. I look at the business very differently now. I see it for what it is, in my opinion of what it is. And it's not the same business that we broke into. None of us.
Nope. Not even close.
This will be. I have a couple of bookings that I can take this summer, and I firmly believe after the 2 to 3 bookings I take, I am, other than talking about wrestling, I am going to ride off into the sunset, and I'm good. I'll be honest with you. I haven't wrestled in almost 2 years. Some to my choice, some for the stupidity that people wanted to talk about me. I will go out on my own terms. I ain't going to let nothing hold me back. I'm not going to let an allegation of anything hold me back. I know in my heart, I know in my mind what was done, what happened, and the proof is in the pudding.
I don't know what happened, but we can talk offline. I'd love to hear the bullshit that people are trying to put on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not they're not really putting on them anymore. It was that whole speak out movement, and it was stupidity on other people's parts.
Yeah.
So I care not to even rejoice on it or give it shine. I won't on here because I'll let you know what I mean. Most people like to see people live in misery, and I ain't living in misery.
Yeah,
Exactly. I'll go out. And when asked, do you, like somebody had asked me the other day, do you miss it? I'll tell you what I miss. I miss being around the locker room. I miss driving to the show and being ready. But do I miss 5 days a week in the gym, giving 2 hours dedication to my physique, spending hundreds of dollars a month on supplements to keep myself in top physical condition? I'll tell you this. The past 2 years, I put on 25 pounds. I got a 1-pack instead of a 4-pack. But ask me if I'm happy. I'm happy.
That's all that counts. That's all that counts.
I'm happy. I'm content. I've gotten to watch my kids grow for the past 2 years. I've stepped foot into a job where I would have had to have busted my balls for 4 years in college, and I got a degreeless teaching job as a fitness. I'm a fitness consultant at the school. I couldn't ask for a better life. So to say I'm a lucky one. Most people don't have something that they can walk away from wrestling and that their mind doesn't even, and I'll be honest with you, this right here, getting to be around the 4 of yous, sometimes more, and getting to talk my love, I'll be honest with you, it's at times just as therapeutic.
Hey, well, just so you know, there's only 3 of us here, but that's okay. You said the 4 of you.
I knew it was coming. You got to shit in this moment, right? You got to shit on this moment.
So the reason why I said 4, I was talking to myself too, because because the camera set is 4 screens.
Oh my God, Gazoo!
You know, I gotta tell you, Jay, I think I've told you very well why I fell out of love with the business and what really triggered the I would say the spiral out of wanting to be involved in professional wrestling. We've had this conversation in the past. You know the situation that really kind of started the brain moving. And it just, for me, I did things differently than you guys. I wasn't, as much as I was involved in the business, you guys did it in a different way than I did. But, the juices are there for me when it comes up here. But I wouldn't want to commit the time. I look at professional wrestling and I'd be like, I don't want to get fucking involved. The only thing I would do, honestly, is if one of you guys said, this is my legitimate last fucking match of my life, will you come up to the show and either be a part of it with me or be there? That's about it for me at this point. It's
Really?
Yeah. I like playing my character, but this is the character. This is us here.
Yep.
I don't need to be Vinny Capelli in a professional wrestling ring or outside of a professional wrestling ring. There's no love there for me. Like when it comes to that portion of it, I still love wrestling, and I would love to be a professional. I would love to be a writer and actually see my vision be told on a television screen or in a ring, and see my story that I write, like any writer would see their movie. You see a movie made about their book. Like if I was Adam Jack Pelly and I was reading his book, let's see it. And there it is, The Fisherman's Game. And if there's nothing better than to see your vision be put to you in a physical sense. And but that's about it. It's.
Yeah.
If this was 10 years ago, Capelli, I would be like, yeah, you being backstage is awesome, but with the talent of nowadays, to be honest with you, they don't want to be told jack shit. So
I know.
I really am, to a certain extent, glad I'm out. I'm hoping that one of my last matches will be this summer for Trooper. And if I do have that match for Trooper, I'm going to be honest with you. Vinny Capelli's guided me down the aisle to the ring, like old school style.
I'll do it under one condition. Because this really is going to be your last hurrah.
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck. Then you don't come out as the alpha. You come out as the name that was given to you. You come out as the Boston bad boy, Jason Rumble.
I will come out. If this is, buddy, I said to people the day when I turned 50 years old, that would be it for me. And I will stand by that word. I'm 50. I want to walk away healthy. I just want a couple of matches so that I can say I went out on my own.
Yeah. And what about you, Mike?
You'll be coming down the ring with me in May. It's my last match.
You're done in May?
Yeah, well, I'm facing Malonis.
And that's it? You're going to end it?
I got
What about you, Pelly?
I'm going to wait till the summer. I do that. I'm hopefully going to do that Skohegan Fair in August. But I got really sick when I was in 99 with my mental illness. And the one thing that my mom said that saved me with professional wrestling. It helped. Like, I don't know where I'd be. I might be still in a group home or small options home talking to myself, staying in a room. But professional wrestling, turned my life around. Next to my relationship with Christ, professional wrestling is the one thing that saved my life. The one thing. I wouldn't be sitting here right now talking to you guys if it wasn't for professional wrestling. I wouldn't know Rumble and his family. Rumble is one of my closest friends. Wouldn't have known him.
I'm sorry.
I met Rumble. I wrestled Rumble in Skip Spire in Buxton, Maine. The next week, he took me to his home and invited me in.
I can say that about Rumble. I've known him for 20-something years. He was at my wedding, including this bald-headed freak was at my wedding, my first marriage. I can say what I want, and they can like it.
That's Rumble. If he likes it, he loves you. He'll take you in and do anything for you.
So, Pelly, let me ask you a question. Do you need? I mean, obviously, if wrestling is something that is your, something that brings you joy and entertainment and happiness in your life, obviously, don't give it up. But do you need to be? I guess, is it being a wrestler or being around the business? Because if there's one thing I can say, the one thing I will say that I miss, and it's similar to what Jay said, I miss being around the locker room, around the boys, taking the rides, fucking the 4-hour fucking rides where we're fucking shitting on people, or we're talking gimmicks, or we're talking about, or just having, writing sessions while we're driving, or talking about
if you're around
show.
Yeah, if you're around people that you know and you love, and you're car rides with them, like. And the guys around, I guess you could say, Rumble, the guys up here, if you've been in the business long enough, they respect you up here. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
I'm kind of like, I'm showing that respect. Like I sometimes some guys come to me and ask for advice, or I'll say, hey, come here, and I'll give them advice, and they all treat me with respect. But like what I've kind of missed in the past couple of years is the boys coming to my apartment and staying for a couple days or weeks and telling me how dirty the place is and how much I got to clean the place up.
Wow!
But when you're with the boys, right? You're talking business.
And who usually cleans your apartment?
Jason Rumble.
That's a change.
What Jason Rumble's house used to look like back in
No shit.
Yeah.
That's a stretch right there, believe me. I had to see it to believe it, because this guy was a pig.
I lived with pigs, buddy.
True.
When I had my own place in Somerville, when I lived on that 3rd floor, that apartment was meticulous. When I lived on Fulton Street with Carla the Slob, my father the Slob, my Uncle Bobby the Slob, okay, and every other roommate I had that was a slob, I was all set with cleaning up after them. All I cared about was their coffee brewed, was there good shit on TV, and somebody better have a patty rolled. There you go.
There it is.
I actually missed them days on Fulton Street.
Pelly, I got to give you a funny story, right? This is a wrestler. This has got to be a wrestling story, but this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the business. So Rumble calls me one day. He's like, yeah. He's like, we're talking about something business. I was like, I'm going to be by. I'll come by. He's like, yeah. Just come on by. The door will be open. Well, I'm going to do my thing. And I fucking sit there and I'm like, Jay's like, the door's wide. The door should be open. I just go fucking right in. I go right into his fucking house. And there's Jay going to town with his fucking girlfriend at the time on the couch. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. And it was like, I was like, I'll go back outside and let you guys finish up. It was just things like that just.
The door's wide open. Just come in.
For me, I got to tell you, there's a distinct picture that I love and a distinct memory that I love. And it shares with one with Jay and one with Mike. The distinct picture that I love, Jay, is that picture of me, you, and Damon that we took. Just the 3 of us sitting in the locker room, just in our regular street clothes. Yeah. Somebody snapped a picture of the 3 of us. That's one of my favorite pictures all the time, with me with the boys. And then one of my favorite memories of all time, as much as it hurt me, was when I tore my rotor cuff. But fucking me and Mike on that the TV program that we were all up for, but me and Mike shared that moment together. Doing the fucking gimmick for MTV's I Want to Be a Professional Wrestler. Yeah. And we had 3 seconds of fame. But the fact is just that whole memory and all that. It's funny. I still tell people to this day, I tell them the story of when I tore the rotor cuff, and I'm like, this motherfucker didn't have his license. I had to drive 4 fucking hours to Lewiston, Maine. I tear my rotor cuff.
You had to drive home.
I thought I fucking drive home.
Sorry.
But, that's what I miss the most. I don't miss much else. I definitely don't miss the charismas. I don't miss the.
Yeah, well, you're gonna find those no matter
I
where
know,
you
but as
go.
much as I love him, and I do, I love Bo, but I don't miss the Bo Douglases of professional wrestling. I don't miss the Mistress Belmontes of professional wrestling. You know, I mean, she's a sweetheart, but this some of the interactions I had with people like that. Shit,
Kathy's
Kathy's
not like that
What
anymore.
happened with me and Knuckles? And I mean, me
Yeah.
and Knuckles, you know,
Knuckles is a piece of shit. But
No, I
Kathy's
wouldn't
not.
say that now.
No, I would. Trust me, he is. Kathy's not like that anymore, though, dude. After her husband died, she changed completely.
I know, but you understand, this is wrestling. This is.
See, I thought Knuckles became a whole different man. He like swallowed his pride. He became.
Yeah, he's different in my opinion.
No, he's not.
I had good interactions with him now, but I mean, but again, you know, I was a young kid, and hey, at the time, I did what my boss Tony said: get the fuck out there. That's what I did.
But, so, all right.
Anyways,
let's touch base. What do you want to touch base on? The free agent signings or Hannibal?
Let's talk about Hannibal.
Thing, I don't.
Psycho.
I'd rather touch upon free agent signings and what is potentially to come with.
Okay, do it. I want to hear.
I like how he comes on and like takes over the show.
I want to hear it. What are the potential things you're hearing?
Yes, tell us, Kazoo.
Well,
dum-dums.
Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda potentially is AEW bound. I still don't buy into it. I'm still not sold on it.
Keep on going.
I'm not sold on it. I still think that what I brought up about the whole they released Bray Wyatt, not Wyndham Rotunda, is more legit. But there's enough smoke out there on different dirt sheets and other different sites that people are saying, don't be shocked if he shows up. That's hit or miss with him. I'll believe it when I see it. I just, Tony Khan alluded to, there's more big free agent signings to come. I did read that, but it was not granted. I did read Sasha Banks a couple weeks ago had discussed requesting her release from the WWE, but that's neither here nor there. But Johnny Gargano and Mr. Riley, I think where NXT is where it is now, I do believe they're probably going. You're probably going to see a version of how does it go? This,
yeah,
how they did it. I think you're going to see some version of that over there. I don't know, to be honest. I wouldn't be shocked. Pelly, what do you think with those two?
O'Reilly in AEW and Gargano stays.
You think Gargano stays?
I think Gargano stays. I think Gargano right now is content where he is. I think if he gets guaranteed money and it's in the millions, he's not getting that from AEW. You know, and I believe right now he's thinking more now on the lines of being a father, that he's already made enough money to this point that he's comfortable for the time being. He just went back. He opened up his Twitter channel. He just released 3 shirts or more on Pro Wrestling Tees. I think Kyle O'Reilly goes to AEW because the writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
But I think a guy like Gargano, I look at it this way: the more guys that leave to go to AEW, log jams what they have right now. There's not enough.
There's a chance?
Yeah, I think that there's a huge log jam at the top, and I believe that after a while, like with Vince, is going to have to be forced to utilize some of these guys. Sorry.
Let me ask you a question now. If Gargano does in fact stay, and if Triple H does in fact actually start taking over Monday Night Raw, do you see Gargano moving up to the main roster?
I was just about to say I could picture Gargano on Raw because I believe right now they're elevating the lighter style wrestlers. Like, I think he'd match great with Rollins. I think he'd match great with the RK against Bro. Balor. I think him and Balor would light it up.
Mhm.
Austin Theory, like,
Yep.
yeah, I think I really believe sooner or later Vince has he is not going to have a choice, but he is going to have to give in a little bit. He's going to have to. He really is going to have to. And I believe Gargano is one of them guys. I think he'd sell tons of merch. I think he would be over with the main roster crowd. I think the kids would eat him up. What do you think, Mike?
So I'm going to throw this out there with the control your narrative.
Yeah.
I got a feeling they're going to end up in AEW because they showed up at Ring of Honor.
Yep, I saw that.
I think the next step for them is going to be either TNA or AEW. I don't think EC3 is going to want to go back to TNA. I think he's going to want to take a shot at AEW. But the problem is, who do they have to work them guys? They got nobody big. You know, Brian Cage is on his way out. He's going to end up in WWE because he's a perfect fit for Vince. What's his face is still out with a concussion and a neck injury. They have nobody big. Everybody in AEW is a lighter side wrestler.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
So Braun Strowman becomes truly the monster among men.
I see him going there. I really do. I really do think that they're going to take that group, him, Cross, and EC3, and end up at AEW.
All right. So I'll give you three good people for them. Wardlow, the chairman of the board, Sean Spears, and MJF.
Well, but Wardlow's going to end up being a face by the middle of next year. He's going to end up turning on.
I'm just saying, but right now, if they ask me if they walked in the door, who's three, I'd put them in. If they walked in tomorrow, until Wardlow realistically turns babyface, I'm booking it that way. So we just had the needle mover himself kick Paul Heyman in the nuts. I do not have the microphone on. I do not have the volume on, but he's just been handed a chair, and it looks as if that Roman Reigns is about to beat down Paul Heyman with a concerto.
Then I got it right here.
Fox.
Lesnar's out here now.
See, I must be a couple seconds behind. Oh, here's Lesnar's music. All right, so here we go. Day one, we're about to see the end of Roman Reigns. This is what I wanted to bring up. With the COVID numbers spiking, could we see the return of the WWE Thunderdome?
No.
Nope.
Won't happen.
So you don't think
it won't happen?
Well, it's funny. I read today that the Boston Garden is one of the buildings that's considering going fanless.
No, that's in Canada, not in Boston.
I know it's in Canada, but there was also an article on 98.5, the Sports Hub's website, that said TD Bank North Garden is considering, if the spikes consistently rise, are considering not allowing fans.
I heard
that too.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I heard it. I don't see it happening, though, to be honest with you.
Oh, I'm just...
The Jacobs love their money too much.
Just thought I'd ask.
So back to free agents.
Yep.
The Briscoes. I am surprised they did not show up Wednesday night.
I don't think, can I tell you? Tony Kondo book Ring of Honor. I don't believe that people want to touch the Briscoes.
Well, when you have FTR show up at Ring of Honor and start a fight,
I know.
It was a given that they were going to show up. And no show. So, you know what I'm saying? I just want to see, that piques my interest. I want to see if them boys are going to show up or not.
I think you're going to see that match in Game Changer Wrestling.
Think so?
Yep.
You think so?
Yep. I think GCW gives you that match. I think whatever stigma follows the Briscoes is why Tony Khan won't touch them.
What stigma is that, you think?
I have never heard, but I've heard that they have a bad reputation, and it's one of the reasons why Vince has not pursued them.
I have also heard that they're very racist as well.
Yes. You would think since they talk the street that they wouldn't be racist.
Well, but the thing of it is, look where they come from.
They come from Maryland.
There you go.
Yep.
Good old Southern boys.
Delaware.
Yep. So, I mean, but that's the stigma on them right now is that they're racist.
Okay.
Big time.
I never heard that, but I wouldn't be shocked either.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked either.
There was a report that came out that they got caught a lot of heat for some of the shit they were saying. So I don't know. I mean, again, it's the dirt sheets. You can't believe everything you read.
So I've been told that Paul Heyman officially fired by Roman Reigns.
Well, Swerve.
So hear me out. Do you think that with Roman Reigns being highly susceptible to COVID and the rampant spikes, that you could see Roman Reigns disappear for a couple of months?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
See, everyone is expecting Paul Heyman to turn on Roman Reigns. They're swerving everybody.
It's just a gimmick. It's a work.
Yeah. He's not going to turn on him. Yeah.
Okay, good.
He's on the fucking T-shirt that says the Bloodline. He's a part of that gimmick. This is his way to swerve, make Brock believe. The gimmick would be Brock believes that Roman's, and then he turns on him, and it's like, wait, what? It's how Roman beats Brock without Brock looking weak.
All right.
Yep.
So the last subject we'll talk about, because as you see, I have a passed out 5-year-old. The last subject we'll talk about, let's talk about the two Canadians, a.k.a. Mr. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Let's talk about first Kevin Owens re-signing with the WWE. I had said it all along that Kevin Owens is a Canadian, and Canadians who love professional wrestling love the WWE, okay? To the Canadian worker, the WWE is the end-all, be-all, okay?
Correct. Yep.
And I just had that feeling that Kevin Owens was staying with the WWE.
Don't be a WWE show, Jay. Come on,
I'm not. But then you got, I love Joey to death. He is basically my son. But for him to come out after I put something up and he puts, oh, I feel bad for him. The way he talked about his life and things of being with the WWE on Twitter. And I told him point blank, wrestling, WWE style, is entertainment. And his number one thing to do is to what? Work the freaking fans.
Yeah.
Everything that these guys put on Twitter about being disgruntled or this or that, you don't think the WWE front office isn't following everything that? Because I tell you, if you said something bad about me and I'm paying your contract, I don't care how much I owe you, how many years you signed, I'm going to continue to bury you. You don't talk bad about your employer.
Of course, they knew it was that he was going to do that.
I believe that he swerved the WWE universe. That's my honest opinion. I don't think he was ever disgruntled. I think it was a work.
Wait a minute, who was that?
I'm gonna say this much. I'm gonna add this in, little nugget. Something that I read on a dirt sheet. I wouldn't say it's a complete 100% reputable source, but it's enough smoke there. Originally, Kevin Owens was being put into the title scene to take the loss because he had not signed his contract. Now, once Kevin Owens signs his contract, the following week, Bobby Lashley's added into the match. So now Kevin doesn't have to take the loss and look weak on the loss. You know what I'm saying? Now you could have Bobby. Now it can turn into a schmoz where Kevin can take a loss, but not look super weak either.
I think he's going to win it.
I gotta say this much: Sami Zayn. You mentioned Sami Zayn. He's going nowhere. Where Kevin goes, Sami goes.
There was a report that I wanted to post, but it hasn't been 110% confirmed. But it said in words, it's reported that Sami Zayn has re-signed with the WWE, and details of the contract have not been released yet. But I did not want to put it up because it wasn't 100% confirmed.
Better be careful; you may get flack from the AEW clown.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked if you see Sami and Kevin back on the same show doing something together, feeding into this whole thing.
That would be cool.
Would not be shocked.
So, well, it's been an awesome show, Capelli. I was hoping you'd come on. You know, it's good to hear everybody's opinion. And
Capelli,
you know,
how busy is your vacation? If you got time, buddy, look at it right here.
I think I have some time to read a new book. I think I'm going to go on Amazon and purchase The Fisherman's Game.
It's only, I looked it up today. It's only $12 American.
That's it?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to buy myself a Christmas gift.
who was the kid you said bye to?
Yeah, who's that?
That's the kid who's going to learn who Vinny Capelli is if he fucks with my daughter. That was her boyfriend.
No, boys.
She went to go drive him home. So, hey, before we end the show, I just want to let you guys know, good friend of mine, good friend of ours, Mr. Pat Doyle, a.k.a. TC Rustani, has put a nugget into my head, and I am going to be doing my own podcast. The name of the podcast, I think I'm going to name it, is This Effing Guy. Just like that, you see. It's not going to be a wrestling podcast. It's going to be kind of Vinny Capelli talking about what's going on in the fucking world today.
Oh boy!
I'm thinking in 2022 you may see another podcast that you guys can watch. Maybe be a part of. Have you guys come on as guests.
You need to tell Pat I have to get in touch with him. I've been approached by 3 different promoters that want to talk to him about the tape library. That it could mean some money, not right away, but some money up front and then some money down the road if stuff goes right. But he's one of the ones that owns it. So, I would love for you to relay a message.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
But, all right, fellas. It's been great talking. With Christmas Eve being next Friday, Christmas Day being next Saturday, we're going to throw it down like old school on Thursday night. So I hope to have you guys come on Thursday night and throw it down.
If I am off if I legitimately have Christmas Eve off like we're supposed to, I will be here.
All right.
I'm gonna be at the folks, so I'll try. I'll take my phone with me. I'll get in the
No
bed.
problem. Thursday night.
Just don't win in that
next
freaking
Thursday.
bet again.
I may or may not be there. Depends on the Bruins. I'm supposed to go see the Bruins play the Colorado Avalanche, but there's a chance that they may postpone the rest of their games.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they postponed tomorrow and Sunday against Montreal and Ottawa, but they may postpone Carolina and Colorado.
Oh, wow.
We'll see.
Wow.
All right, I gotta ask. What's the score this weekend, Jay? What you got? Let me hear it. Give it to me. Come on.
21-13 Patriots.
21-13 Patriots. All right. I'm going 27-24 Pats.
It was like they were on the side of the bar.
Did you hear Adam Vinatieri gonna hit the anvil for the Colts against the Pats?
Good for him.
Before the game.
Good for him.
Little midget.
I hope when he hits the anvil with the hammer, the fucking handle breaks and the hammerhead hits him right in the head.
Hammerhead.
Yeah, hammerhead. Hammerhead Vinatieri.
Hey, Pelly, I got a question. Where the fuck is the treasure? I'm going nuts watching the show.
If there's a treasure there, Capelli, it's not meant to be brought back up, my brother.
Yeah, tell me about it, because I'm going nuts watching the show. And I'm like, just pull up the fucking thing.
Listen to me. If you ever get to Nova Scotia, you let me know, and I'll talk to my godparents and stuff. But I'll get you there.
Definitely.
All right, everyone in Facebook land, Twitter, and YouTube, we appreciate the support, the rewatches, the 2 to 5 people that actually strove through to watch the live stream during this 1 hour and 27 minutes and counting. Greatly appreciated. Come 2022, we're going with a whole new carrier. I'm moving to a new carrier because what happens is I can hit a button and the voice of it will be automatically be sent to Spotify and iTunes and will officially become a podcast called Inside the Gorilla Position with Jason Rumble and the boys.
Okay.
So there's StreamYard for 2 more weeks, and then we're moving to a different feature because for the extra $10, it does all that, and I can go to 6 formats instead of 3 formats.
Okay.
So
I'm still waiting to be made an admin so I can change the background. But
I'll figure it out. I got the whole week off next week. I'm not computer. I will figure it out.
Okay.
All right, boys.
Yeah, it'll be just pictures of Mike all over the place. It'll just be, I'm over.
It's okay. I got something special for you, Gazoo.
As long as it's big green, I don't care.
I got something special for you. You wait.
Go Pats! We'll see you for Thursday night throwdown. For Jason Rumble, APOC, Stiff Mike King, for this effing guy, Vinny Capelli, and for the man who's no longer bedridden, now his ass is stuck to a couch, Sidewalk Sam. Have a great night, everyone.
Oh, my God. That's great.
Later, boys.
Later.